Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and you're listening to the Bob Culture Podcast with your host, Rob Crother! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special NXT In Your House edition of the BCP. Right now, you are listening to Undisputed, of course, the Undisputed Era theme by my good friends, It Lives, It Breathes. Great cover by you guys. Please follow It Lives, It Breathes, and also Damnation with some other great covers on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff, guys. As always, thank you for letting me use your tunage. Right now, guys, I am excited to talk about a pay-per-view, kind of a little bit of a throwback here. We're still going through Bizarro World, lots of things going on in the world. Everybody, just be nice to each other, be a good person. We know how this works, guys. And right now, I am surrounded by good people. So excited for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I have a couple rants on board, but let's get to the panel, this all-star stellar panel. And right now we are welcoming the Queen herself from Queen's Court Radio on Smart to Death Radio. Hashtag Queenie Punches. Hashtag Queenie Cooks. Hashtag Queenie Sings. Hashtag Queenie Goes All Out for her All Out Challenge. Please welcome back to the show, the Queen of Any. Queen, what's up? How are you?
Oh my God, Rob, you're the best. Like, whenever I'm, down and I come on and talk with you, you make me feel so good about myself.
We're not worthy.
I love being with you. What's up, buddy? How is everyone doing?
Doing well, Queen. It's always a pleasure. We got to roll out the red carpet when you come on, and thank you again for a few minutes of your time. It's not a all-star panel unless the Queen is here. That's all I got to say. But speaking of all-stars, we have to welcome back hashtag Dad Instincts, the editor-in-chief of thepopbreak.com, hashtag Le Champion, hashtag You Know Why, Bill. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, Mr. Bill Bodkin. Bill, what's up, bro?
You know what? I don't know why. I still don't know why.
I don't know either.
And there's going to be those questions we're going to be talking about today, because I don't know the answer. And it's not because I slept for 2 hours and asked a 5-year-old earlier today if I should put a frozen waffle in the toaster or not, and she looked like I was crazy.
Yes.
I did find that out, yeah. I just kind of crossed my fingers and did it. My wife's like, "Why do you look so nervous?" I'm like, "I don't know if it's supposed to go in there." She's like, "You're 38. You've done this before. I've literally seen you do it." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." So it's been a rough. The last 2 weeks have been a rough decade. So let's do this, guys.
So accurate.
You ain't wrong, man. But Bill, thanks again for a few minutes. And a last-minute surprise entrance, the co-host with the most. Hashtag Wrestlers Love Chris Nunez. Hashtag The Good Roommate. I don't know. Please welcome back to the show, the co-host with the most, Mr. Chris Nunez. What's up, brother? How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Good to see all you guys.
Thanks.
Oh, the positivity is radiating through, man.
He's the man. I could just he just smells amazing. That's what all the wrestlers say to Chris. It's like, "You smell so good." I can just smell him from here. All right.
He does. I
did shower today.
Bill knows. All right, and rounding out this all-star panel from across the pond, please welcome to the show from the Wrestling with Johners podcast, a really great, informative podcast. John, you have had me on the show, and I'm so happy to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. John from Wrestling with Johners. What's up, bro? How are you?
There we go. Great. Fantastic to be on your podcast. Thank you for inviting me. And I can't wait to talk about a TakeOver. We haven't spoken about TakeOver for so many months. It seems like a lifetime ago since we last spoke about TakeOver.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man, and thanks for having me on your show a while back. This is long overdue, and I'll have some shameless plugs for you at the end. We're all about the shameless plugs here, so appreciate it. All right, guys, so as always, we start with ladies first here on the BCP. Let's get right into it with the 6-woman match. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have Shotzi Blackheart, one of my personal favorites, versus Tegan Knox, I believe Bill's favorite, tagging with Mia Yim and Tegan Knox versus Candice LeRae. Wrestlers love Chris Nunez.
Tegan Knox.
I don't know if we can be friends. Right. So you need to like her because she's so much fun. But I hope this match gets some time. That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm hoping we get a nice solid 12 to 15 minutes. There's a lot of talent in here with these ladies, and I'd love them to have the opportunity to show out. I just think there's more, I would say, overall benefit to have the heel section go over right now in terms of storyline. But I think they're gonna have a good time in that ring.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Bill, your thoughts?
Oh, here we go. All right. So,
oh boy.
I've been thinking about this one, and I love all 6 women in this match. If, like Queen said, if given the time, it should be super fun. But I remember a line from The Departed that Alec Baldwin says, and usually when you talk to The Departed, you don't remember anything Alec Baldwin says, but he goes, "Qui bono? Who benefits from this match?" And to me, these are 6 women, 2 hours of sleep, guys, I'm sorry, who are kind of like stuck in neutral. And whoever wins from here, what does a win do for any of these 6 women, is my question. Because we kind of have this kind of like power struggle between Charlotte, Io, and Rhea. And I feel like that's where it's going to be stuck for a while. And then I feel like it's NXT, a word that describes NXT in a lot of ways is stuck. Like we're just kind of in neutral right now. So the follow-up line to my quote from Matt Damon was, "Qui gives a shit. It's wrapped in a fucking bow." And that's what kind of this is. It's going to be a great match. We're going to win this one. The fans are going to win. But there's 6 women with so much talent that I hope something comes of this. Like Mia Yim and Candice LeRae have been the female Dolph Ziggler's, or the Natalias, I guess you want to say, of NXT, where they're just like, make someone look good instead of go for the title. So I hope whoever comes out on top, and I'm going to go with the faces on this one because I can't go against Tegan Knox. I hope it goes somewhere. We see them because they've all been kind of stuck. So I want to see them elevated. Shotzi, we all love her, but she doesn't really win. So I want to see her do more. I want to see movement here in the women's division of NXT because it's a great division. So I'm going team good guy, good gal. Good gal. I'm going to drink more.
Oh, boy.
That'll bring me back. Listen, there's Irish blood coursing through these veins. I know how to bounce back.
Oh, man. All right, let's throw it over to 9 out of 10 divas love Chris Nunez over there.
I'm going to agree with
one of them is not real. It's just like this fake. It's an outlier.
I'm gonna go with the Queen's pick on this. I think it's gonna be a heel heavy night. I'm gonna go with the heels on this one. Candice just turned heel a few weeks ago, so I feel like they're gonna ride the wave on that one still. And I think Reyna's gonna have a good showing in this one. She still has a lot to prove. She's still kind of new to NXT audiences as far as like in-ring work. So I think she's going to have a big showing here. But yeah, I'm going to go with the heels on this one.
Okay. John, take us home on this one, bro.
Yeah, I agree with all of your thought points in this. It is going to be a very heel-heavy show, I think. And that's why in this match I'm going to go for a babyface win. I think that Shotzi Blackheart, she deserves her moment. She lost on Wednesday in a match against, was it against Rena?
Yes.
But, and that was a great match, and she really deserved better then. I think she's deserved better in her NXT run so far. I think this could be a breakout match for Shotzi, to be honest with you. And I think although that the heels will probably have the upper hand throughout the majority of the match, I think the baby faces are going to overcome. I like both teams. I like all 6 women. I've got to be honest with you. They're both 2 very, very strong teams. But I'm going to edge towards the babyface side, and I think it could be a breakout moment, a breakout match for Shotzi as well.
I'm going to say this. The accent makes your opinions seem that much better. It's like this learned, scholarly.
I don't know
you're reading from like century-old parchment about Shotzi Blackheart. It's amazing.
Whereas our New Jersey accents make us sound very stupid. So no offense. No, I love you, Jersey. I'm just kidding, but probably not.
I'll take it.
It's all uphill from here.
Little known fact, actually all 6 competitors in this match love Chris Nunez, but also I'll have to go with the face team. Have to go with the face team as well. I do see this being a heel heavy pay-per-view. Bill, we've talked about this for months, man. Almost everyone on the show is a heel in some form or fashion. Yeah. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm feeling that rant coming on. But I got to go with the face team on this one. And hopefully, like you guys were saying, kind of a big showing for Shotzi. She had a great showing in that gauntlet match months ago. I'd like to see more momentum behind Shotzi, who Nunez and I almost interviewed, but due to a certain gentleman, we'll leave it at that. But we were close. It's going to happen one day. All right.
All I'm going to say is I hope if she does the trust fall again,
ooh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw that. Oof.
That was not good.
That was like just one of the scarier things I've seen in a while.
Right. I've got to say, Rob, I'm digging Candice's new gimmick and new gear, new hair. I think she's really coming over strong as a new heel character. But it's going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to that one.
Okay, so perfect timing because let's
go for it. Let's go for it.
Let's go.
It's coming out.
Get in.
I'm ready to sip my tea and listen. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, it's coming out. So, John, perfect segue here, man. Candice is somewhat of a different story. I got to go with Johnny, man. The heart and soul of NXT, the rebel heart of NXT. Chris Nunez has come on my show, and we've done a Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole watch along where he won the title.
Tears on this show.
Tears.
Talking about TakeOver New York.
He is your inspiration, Nunez. We'll throw it to you next, man. He's your inspiration, man. You were there when he won that title. One of my favorite episodes that we did as far as the watch along, just a lot of emotion, just 2 grown men really taking wrestling very, very seriously. But
okay.
I don't understand this Johnny Gargano heel turn one bit. And I am willing to see it through. I'm willing to see what they do with it. I think that feud between Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano was perfect. Put a bow on it. It's perfect.
Yep.
The back and forth,
yep.
Him winning the title, Ciampa coming out in the neck brace even. The hug, perfect. It just doesn't get better than that. Okay, we're both faces again. We'll get that little extra DIY reunion. Yes, Nunez, we see your... Yep, I knew that shirt was coming. We have that great match with Mustache Mountain, and we knew it'd be great. It's fantastic. All right, it's a little bonus points, a little bit extra. Okay, I don't think that really involves the feud or anything. Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's leave it alone. Then we have, what was it, TakeOver Portland, I think it was, where Johnny comes and jumps Tommaso, and I'm just like, I think all of us were just like, why are we rehashing this? Like, we know why. It's going to be a great match, whatever they do, and it was interesting, but I just leave it alone. You have a guy who is undoubtedly just an underdog, a rebel heart, a babyface in every way, and is currently one of my favorite wrestlers, and I think he is just going to be one of the top guys of all time. This guy knows how to tell a story in a match, and he can act. He can be a bad guy. He can act. I get it. His segment with Moro was actually very, very good. I thought that was an interesting exchange, but I don't understand why. I don't understand why they rehashed this. They literally said to us, like Bill and I always joke about, you know why. Oh, okay. I get that they try to explain it a little bit. It just doesn't make sense to me. It feels like everyone is a heel. I think he is just a clear-cut good guy. They changed his music. I don't like the new music. I don't like this.
God, let's not even get started on that.
Rebel Heart was one of my favorites.
You might make Chris Nunez cry right now, and I don't want to see that. He's a beautiful man. It smells great.
I appreciate that. I don't want to see myself cry either.
I don't want
cry right now. I don't care.
We'll get there. I don't want that Johnny Gargano way. And it's like, okay, you're a heel, but now you're doing everything in the ring. I mean, the one match, hook the tights, unhook the turnbuckle pad. I don't even know if there might have been a low blow. It was just like every single thing, the distraction from Candice. Like, I get it, you're a bad guy, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And NXT has done everything so great up till this point. It got a little weird when everyone was kind of a heel. We had kind of a lot of heel versus unofficial heels on this pay-per-view. Bill, yeah, we'll talk about that. But I just don't get it. I'm willing to see it through, but it doesn't make any sense to me. As far as Candice, if this gives her a push, then I'm cool with it. She was one of my favorites on the indies. She's had moves of the night. But this whole sitting at the dinner table, black and white, indie queen thing, or evil queen thing, it doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of silly.
No one eats dinner with a cup.
Exactly.
There. No one does that. It doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah.
And not even in wrestling life.
Not even
I've
wrestling.
seen a lot of shit in wrestling.
Not even wrestling. And I just don't get it. I don't think I'm not biting. It's not hooking me. For Candice, I see this propelling Candice in a way, but like her hair's
exactly.
Yeah, did you guys know in wrestling if you change your hair color it usually indicates a face or heel turn as I've learned over the years. But
don't ever let gray hair fool anybody and make you a bad guy.
Yeah, that's right. But her logo was literally a cupcake. It was literally a cupcake. Like and this is an adorable couple that say, hey, if you see us at Disney Springs, come say hi. You won't bother us. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think it will propel Candice. I think this will be a great match. I do see Johnny getting the win and being the first ever two-time North American champion. But he's just it's going to be by hook or by crook, and it's going to be silly. I think this is going to be a great wrestling match. I think Johnny being heel and Candice being heel is going to result in some great matches, but I don't understand it, and it just adds to everything that is Bizarro World right now. That has been 2020. Nunez, Gargano's your guy. What do you got for me, bro?
I think it's kind of like the classic case, like Batman. Like, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because being at TakeOver New York, and then I was at TakeOver 25 as well, they were booing. They were booing the hell out of Johnny. Mm-hmm. It was all pro Adam Cole, which rightfully so, because Adam Cole is amazing.
Which one was 25? Was that Connecticut?
Connecticut.
Okay, sorry. I apologize. Just didn't remember.
Out of Johnny, and it was kind of one of those things where after a while it was almost like Seth Rollins on Raw, where you kind of just embrace the thing, and you just turn makes a lot more sense, like you were saying, Rob, to Candice. Because she needs more of a push than Johnny does. Johnny has kind of pretty much done everything there is to do in NXT. They did have that heel turn with him when he attacked Aleister Black. Didn't really work out too well. Like you said, we'll ride this out. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really digging it. I'm not digging the theme music, but I'm biased to Rebel Heart. But we'll see. I mean, either way, he's gonna put on great matches, more so. So
yeah,
and I do believe he's gonna be the first ever two-time NXT North American champion.
Absolutely, and maybe you and I are just biased. Johnny's our guy. John, you're.
Keith Lee's awesome. He's gotten to shine. Great reign as North American champion, but I think with Johnny being freshly heel, I think they're gonna give him the belt.
Yeah.
Freshly squeezed heel.
There it is. I knew that was coming.
Oh, orange.
And maybe we're being very biased here. John, your thoughts on this heel turn and then this match?
I'm looking forward to this one. You're going to have a great big man, little man dynamic.
Exactly.
And I think that Keith Lee, he's going to be showing his strength, showing his power, throwing Johnny all over the ring. I'm quite enjoying the Johnny Gargano heel turn. It took me a while to get used to it, I've got to be honest with you. I wasn't a big fan of it, but as you mentioned earlier, he was starting to get boos at other takeovers and other shows. Maybe he'd run his course as a babyface and done everything he possibly could as a babyface, so the heel turn was probably long overdue, you could say. So I'm settling into that. I don't like the fact that he's having to cheat and use foreign objects and kind of nefarious means all the time. I think it was on Wednesday when he got there was a mixed tag match and he used a car key on Keith Lee. I thought that was quite effective, quite different, but once again using a foreign object to overcome the bigger guy. And I think there's going to be a lot of that on Sunday night as well. There's going to be a lot of chicken shit heel tactics, you could say, but I do think that Johnny Gargano is going to go over, mainly because I think Keith Lee is destined for bigger things, possibly on Raw or SmackDown maybe. I think that they see money in him, so I can see Johnny Gargano going over, and I think his future is still in NXT. I can't really see him doing much on any of the other two brands, so I think Johnny goes over, Keith Lee gets called up, and there's going to be some shenanigans on Sunday.
Very well said, man. Looking at it from all angles. I love it. You guys are the best. Let's throw it to the Queen.
So, I was so hyped for Keith Lee to get this championship belt. I have been waiting for the moment when he's been thrust into the spotlight, and I've been so hyped for that. And his matches with Dominik Dijakovic, even before NXT and the indie scene, are freaking unreal.
Oh, yeah, man.
You know, so, like, I was so hyped for this, and unfortunately, I feel like it's been so lackluster due to our entire, COVID situation. It's not his fault. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying it hasn't been what I think we all, as Keith Lee fans, were hoping for, right? And this match, I feel like, is going to give him that big marquee moment with the title again, to kind of thrust that back in the spotlight, because, as John said here, it's like we got the bigger guy, little guy thing, because most of his opponents have been bigger guys. So this is a time where you can really get a really fun story and dynamic. But unfortunately, I think that we're going to get a lot of this chicken shit stuff from Johnny, and I don't think he doesn't need that. Like, I know it's new for him, and it's taking me a lot longer to get used to him as a heel than I think other people, but I don't like it. I like it better for Candice. I think it works for her.
Yeah, exactly.
But, Chris, you said a great thing. Johnny's, like, done it all in NXT. So this is something he hasn't done. So I'm in for that. Like, I get that part. So let's see what happens with it. But I do feel like if they're pushing their heel turn as a pair, these two, Candice and Johnny, then I feel like he kind of has to go over here. And I feel like Keith Lee is also destined for bigger, well, I wouldn't say bigger things. I would say different things. New horizons, yes. And I think he has some cool matchups in his future. I'm sad because I don't want him to lose a title, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Very well said, Queen. Bill, I know you have some thoughts on this, bro.
I'm going to start with the match itself first. Is that I've been a Keith Lee fan for a few years. The first time I really ever got exposure to him, there was never a defining moment. Like, I always go back to, and I'm sorry if I'm going for younger NXT fans, one of the first Clash of Champions I ever saw in my life, I believe I was 7 years old. It was in Corpus Christi, Texas, and that's when the Horsemen turned on Sting. And they had a specific reason why they turned on Sting. And that's why Rob always says when he introduces me, #Bill, because there wasn't a defined, simple reason why Johnny turned on Tommaso. And and NXT is known for telling really great stories by boiling it down to the simplicity, and not in a negative way, but in the best way possible. Simple equals better. And they always did that. This was like, let's try some like really reverse psychology, very vague type thing going on. And I get it, Johnny was being booed, but he's going up against Adam Cole. Insert the sound.
Sorry.
Adam Cole's the coolest heel in WWE. Of course you're going to get booed. You're going to put anybody, 99%, unless it's Becky Lynch, you're not getting anyone to cheer for the other opponent of Adam Cole at this point. Like, there's very few people who are going to get over on Adam Cole, especially with Adam Cole fans. That's just how he's always been, in my opinion. So the turning of Johnny was them being too clever. Now, the Candice heel turn, I'm totally for, because she was stuck in this one role. And if she's going to assume that since she's such a big Disney fan in real life, this Disney evil queen character, I'm on it. I'm there for it. I was there for it when they tried doing it last year or 2 years ago when Nunez was mentioning it. Totally for it. Let's do it. And I could see if they had like eased Johnny into the role, like going along with his wife, his life partner, I would have gotten that. But this was out of nowhere, and I kind of hate it. And they're trying so hard to be like, he's a heel. Now, given what Queen was saying about the empty arena era that we're now in, it would have been a lot easier, and they could have done it in different ways to convince that Full Sail crowd, which is like the, kind of the litmus test of what can and can't get over. They could have litmus tested there, gotten him over as a heel, and then extrapolated it. But we're in an empty arena era. It's a little harder. I don't like this heel turn at all, as I've mentioned, but they have to turn people face in order for this heel turn to work. And right now, everyone's kind of either a shade of gray or a heel. So let's start course correcting and going back to what NXT did best, which is good guy versus bad guy. and we got great wrestling out of it. That's my opinion. So if we can do that, then I'll get on the Gargano heel turn. If we're going to continue this course we're on, it sucks. That's my thoughts on that. For some reason, I guess the alcohol helped me get very cogent, very poetic, I guess.
Liquid courage, I love it.
There's
I'm not like Queen going and going the Janela route with the White Claw, though, but, you know.
Listen, hashtag all out challenge. I gotta watch it.
there you go.
Hashtag I've done a shot with Joey in real life, so, you know, let's do it.
Same.
There you go.
Yes.
Asbury
Right.
Park. All right.
Yes.
You said it perfectly, Bill. And we kind of saw this sneaking up on us. We've been talking about it on Messenger and in our tweets and stuff. Like, we see this gray area, like you mentioned. You have this, you know, like Ciampa is a face, but is he like a real face? And this match is all right. Like, here's a perfect example. In my mind, this is heel versus heel, right? Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Finn
it
is a
so
heel.
confusing. I don't know what Finn Balor is. What is Finn Balor?
Yeah, I was very confused. I thought that match with him.
Collecting a lot of money on a limited schedule. That's what Finn Balor is.
Yeah.
John, if you told me you were related to Finn Balor, I would believe you, because you got like a Finn Balor thing going on right there. Right in the face.
No. Different
one's got
country.
the
He's from
washboard
Ireland, I'm
abs.
from England. But,
Is there?
Listen, I know.
John, that's a compliment. Little known fact, John actually does have six-pack abs as well. So,
I'm gonna say 8.
it's eight. That's right. John, we'll throw it to you, man. Your thoughts on this match, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
Yeah, although I think this is going to be a fantastic match, you got two very, very talented individuals. I'm yet to get excited about this match, to be honest with you. I'm yet to get excited. I love both individuals, but as Bill just said, you know, Finn Balor is a heel, and it looks like he's being portrayed as the face here. They've had a bit of a build on NXT TV, which has been mildly interesting. I think they're going to knock it out of the park and have a great match on Sunday night, but I'm yet to get excited about this one. As much as I'd love to see Finn Balor go over, I think they're going to go the other direction, the other way, and push Damian Priest. I think he's going to pick up the victory on Sunday night. Because he's the newer guy, he can get the Finn Balor rub. But it's going to be a good match. It could be the surprise of the night, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was the match of the night because of the talent that's in the ring there. But as I said, I just can't get excited about this one at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Queen, your thoughts?
I love Damian Priest, but really because I love Punishment Martinez. So let's be clear. But, I love Finn Balor a lot in his abs. But mostly I love Finn Balor in the ring. I love Prince Finn Balor. I love Prince Devitt. I liked Demon Finn in NXT in his first run. The other side of Finn Balor when he went to Raw / SmackDown / whatever that was, not really cool. But now that he's back in NXT, I'm loving it. I love that he's a heel. I love that he doesn't give a crap. And I kind of love that both of them are together in this match, even though they're both heels. I love that. It's not something we see all the time. I'm in for it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be great, like actual match-wise. I think this is the first of kind of many matches between them. I don't think this is a one-and-done kind of thing. I would actually love to see the story kind of progress. I think Finn Balor's going to win here, though I will also not be surprised if Priest does pick up a sneaky, nefarious win. That would be kind of fun. Just to see Finn's face would be great. But I'm going to pick Finn to go over this time, but I don't think he ultimately wins this program in the end.
All right, Queen. I love it. Nunez.
Yeah, it's like John was saying, it's hard for me to get behind this one. Like, I know it's going to be a good match, but the build and the lead up to it is just not really great. Man, I don't know which way this is going to go because Balor lost to Cameron Grimes a couple weeks ago. So it's kind of like I don't know where his position is at this point. Mm-hmm. You know, he beats Gargano at TakeOver Portland, and it doesn't really go anywhere from there. I think Damian Priest is going to go over on this one, just because I don't know who else to pick.
Yeah, yeah. It's very tricky, man. Like you said, this heel versus heel matchup, I think things just got kind of crazy. We were talking about it earlier at TakeOver Portland. I think this is kind of where Bizarro World all kind of started. I mean, in the wrestling world, anyway.
Seriously.
Yeah,
That's true.
I thought for sure that Gargano Finn match was going to be like match of the year, and I was kind of underwhelmed by it. I was super surprised. I thought Gargano might get the win there, propelling them into this number one contender situation for Gargano, and it mixes it up with the current Ciampa Cole feud going at the time. It's a no-brainer. You get that triple threat: Cole, Gargano, Ciampa. Hello, money. Like that.
Yeah.
Why haven't we had that match yet? But now we're getting cute and switching everyone around. I feel like that was the way to go. But I understand Finn getting the win. Okay, I get it. After that, I'm going to have to say that I think Finn's going to continue to have the momentum here. I think Finn does get the win over Damian Priest, who's the kind of guy I would really, really love. I'm just again, I'm not in yet. I'm not buying into the character. He's got kind of like that dark aura. He's got a cool move set. He can put on great matches. Almost a little bit of that Aleister Black vibe, a little bit. Usually my cup of tea, but I'm not there yet. So I got to go with Finn Balor on this one, and maybe a potential number one contendership for Finn moving forward. Bill, your thoughts on this one?
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I was just being presented the newest doll in my daughter's collection that she received today from her grandparents. So that was her. If we're showing the video, it was my daughter Sophie, who sort of kind of is a wrestling fan, working on it. I would love for this match ultimately to be a draw, and I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
Because I would love to see these two guys beat each other senseless. It ends in a draw. They shake hands, and he becomes the new enforcer for Finn Balor, much like we had Prince Devitt and Bad Luck Fale.
Oh.
And I would love to see Finn Balor on the shoulders of Damian Priest, who's a very tall New Jersey boy.
Monster Factory graduate.
Yep, Monster Factory. I don't think there's a direction for Damian Priest, this whole I'm a nightlife quasi-vampire arch of infamy. That means nothing. He has literally been nothing. He's been a guy who only kind of fights Keith Lee and Killian Dane and Pete Dunne. That's it. He fights like a limited amount of guys. I would love for this leather jacket wearing squadron to become a thing, because I think it would also define what Finn is in NXT a little bit better. These guys, I think, would work really great together as a tag team. I think they would be awesome together. Have them face the tag team champions, whoever they may be. Actually, I don't even know who the NXT tag team champions are at this point. I know. Oh, that's why, because they're boring. I mean, they're good wrestlers, but it's just like the Imperium thing is just a ripoff of something that was cool, and not a WWE.
Maybe LOL.
But it's but yeah, Priest and Finn, man, give me that team. That would be a kick-ass team. So my hope and my prediction, draw.
I like it.
But WWE is a cowardly company; they won't do it.
I like that. I like that draw pick. That's a rare one here on the BCP. I like it.
I mean, listen, Damian Priest also has the fringe on his tights, so he is the Diesel to Finn Balor, Shawn Michaels. There you go.
Interesting. I love it.
Okay.
Thinking outside the box, this is why this is an all-star team. By the way, on the last podcast, what was it, Bill, Derek, Queen? I got a lot of positive feedback, like, yo, that was a good panel, but we may top it here today. This is a good one, guys.
Nothing to do with me.
No,
Stop.
Stop it.
Plus, also AEW, so I'm a lot better with that.
Yeah, there it is. Les Champions. All right, so let's move on to a match. I think this is an easy pick here. What an entrance. As Bill says, what a smooth handshake. We got to talk about Karrion Kross versus Tommaso Ciampa. I got to say that this is hands down just a showcase for Killer Kross. I got to call him Killer Kross. We've seen this guy on the indies. Nunez, I think you were saying earlier, you saw one of his last shows. I believe Queen was there as well. Seeing that, and this guy's disciplined in the ring. This guy could be a phenomenal good guy, phenomenal bad guy. Like, he's got it. Him and Scarlett's entrance that first night, I think I reviewed it for the site, shameless promo, thepopbreak.com. I was so glad I got to review that episode because that entrance was perfect with no crowd. What did they have? Some smoke and strobes. Just the blocking, you know, for those who are into theatrics and stuff. It was just perfect. The song, I keep using the word perfect. It was amazing. I think Killer Cross, I got to say Killer Cross is going to be... I don't even want to say going over. Killer Cross is just going to win here, and also follow him on social media. He'll like a lot of your stuff too. Big social media presence as well. I love this guy. Going places. Future champ, no question. Let's throw it to the Queen.
Yay! I love Killer Cross. Also, side note, meeting him in person, he's really imposing. Like, he's huge. Like, you don't realize, like, he looks big on TV, but, like,
he's
really
a big guy.
He's a big guy. And
He's not like, yeah, that's the thing. He's like,
so humble, yeah.
He exudes such niceness when you meet him. So, like, certain people, when they're big, you meet them, and you're like, oh, that's an intimidating dude.
Yeah.
He's a very welcoming presence.
Very
he really is. He's super kind, and I love the guy. So I'm pumped. I was so excited for what they were going to do together, the Killer Smoke show in NXT. I just feel like there's so much theatrics, and I'm excited about it. So obviously, I feel like, you know, you're not going to book him the way you're going to book him and have him lose, right? I think it's a great, exciting match with Ciampa, though. They're great foils, and I enjoy that, and I hope we see many more matches where it can be a little bit more, I feel like, competitive and kind of bigger scale. That's fun. I really think he's going to be a huge, big player. Rob, you said it. It's coming, future champ, and he will be in your house, he will take your house, and he will break your house. So that's what's happening. And I mean, I know that his name is Karrion Kross, but I'll call him Killer Kross forever, so...
Love it, Queen. That was
sorry, WWE.
that's the quote right there, Queen. That's going in the soundbite. That's how good that was.
Yeah.
All right, Nunez, your thoughts, bro?
That's one of the flashiest debuts I think I've ever seen for NXT, and in a wrestling promotion in a while. I feel like with that debut, you can't have him lose his first match, regardless of who it's against. Ciampa's more than proven himself over these past few years with his neck injury, and you know, with his comeback after 7 months. 7 months, unbelievable. But yeah, Karrion or Killer, whatever you want to call him, Karrion Kross going over on this one. Shout out to Scarlett.
Who also loves Chris Nunez. John, your thoughts on this one?
No kidding.
Not with that guy next. Not with that guy.
This is the match I'm really looking forward to. I don't know too much about Killer Kross from his other work. I didn't really follow him in his other promotions, but here, I mean, that entrance when he first made his appearance was up there with the Fiends from last year at SummerSlam. It was that good, if not better. Yeah. He's got Scarlett by the side of him, so it's a total package as far as I'm concerned. I've got to say, I'm a bit surprised at how far Tommaso Ciampa's star has fallen, I believe, in the last few months. And I know that it's been a weird situation with no fans in the crowd, but I just feel he's just not giving me the same Tommaso Ciampa that we were getting, you know, before. You know... And yeah, maybe he's more effective as a heel. You know, he was probably one of the best heel in the company for such a long time, and his babyface persona's just not resonating with me. To be honest with you, I think the outcome is reasonably predictable. I've got to go for Karrion Kross, mainly because, you know, he's so new to the company. You're not going to have him lose now, this so soon into his, you know, NXT run. So, you know, that's my winner, Karrion Kross. I think it's going to be a good match. It could be a great match. Like I say, I'm just disappointed that the Tommaso Ciampa character just isn't doing it for me at the moment. But I'm looking forward to seeing the entrance. I'm looking forward to seeing what Karrion can do on Sunday night. I'm looking forward to seeing Scarlett. Yeah, it's going to be a spectacle.
Yeah.
John, if you need some cross recommendations, if you Sport 2, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 2, him and Davey Boy Smith Jr., in Jersey City. Grappler, I saw him live, not just with these guys, but in MLW in Philly when he did a brief run there, which kind of delayed his WWE debut. Had some good matches there with Tom Lawler, I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. This match is going to be super quick. Karrion Kross is going to squash Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to... So, and the reason I say this is because, and it's a weird logic, the first time I saw Tommaso Ciampa was at Ring of Honor in 2013 at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It fought Matt Taven for the TV title. He was the Sicilian psychopath. Had a great theme song. Look it up on YouTube.
Sure did.
He destroyed Matt Taven and his entire entourage in under a minute, and the place went unglued. Do not be surprised if this match goes under a minute and Karrion Kross destroys the crap out of Tommaso Ciampa, which will lead to an extended feud. I want to see these guys get bloody. I want to see these guys get violent. I want Ciampa to tap into the dark side. There is a big money feud here. Don't be surprised if this is a quick win for Killer Kross.
Very well said. All right, guys, now let's move forward into the women's NXT title match. This should be a good one. I'm excited for this. We have that triple threat, so we kind of have the oddball kind of here. Anything can happen here. I'm excited for this one. I'm going to throw it to you guys first, because, see, maybe you guys can sway me a little bit. We have Rice Nunez fan club member versus Io Shirai versus Charlotte, the queen, the other queen, I should say. Charlotte Flair, the NXT champ. Let's throw it to... Let's throw it to our queen.
That's right, Bill.
Let's throw it to our queen.
Moose to you.
Wow. What a compliment.
I went there.
Thank you, Bill.
You're
Rob,
less problematic Tessa Blanchard is what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
I cannot. Oh, Jesus. Rob, if you could clip that first part for me, I'd appreciate that.
I got you, queen. I got you. I got you.
Here's the deal.
Undeniably less problematic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try not to be problematic. I try to make problems if there need to be problems. But here's the thing. Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a mistake. I feel like it was a mistake to put her with the title. I think because they have her on all three shows. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Visitation. It's just wild card. Can we just say that they're trying to bring back wild card? Stop lying to me. Because that's what they're doing, and it's annoying. Anyway, that's another soapbox for another day.
Can I ask you a question? Because I forget I'm not hosting this podcast sometimes because I host 3 other podcasts. Do you think it was just done just to operating against against AEW?
I mean, I think that's business-wise, it's smarter to do that. You could get people to tune in to NXT on Wednesday nights. I think that's a smart thing. Plus, getting some veteran presence in NXT can't hurt. Their division is so awesome as it is. It just is fun to see her wrestle new people. But also, I think ultimately it was because there wasn't really a place for her on the other two shows. Bayley and Sasha are doing their thing, and whether you like Bayley's heel turn or not, she's been doing stuff with that. And the whole Becky thing was going on Raw, and there really wasn't a place for Charlotte. And Charlotte hadn't been in a real title contendership for a while, which is unusual for Charlotte Flair. So this kind of made sense in that way, but I think ultimately it's just been a mistake. I think it slowed the momentum that Rhea Ripley had. I think it, which I really didn't like that they did it, because I feel like she's got real star potential, and it's time for more of her, which is why I'm kind of leaning that way for her winning this. I think ultimately the match is going to be great. Awesome match for the title. I think it's going to be awesome in that regard. I really would love to see Io get the title. I feel like I've been waiting for her to get this title for I don't know how long, but forever. And I love the crazy Io. I love her music. Everything about her is so great, and she's one of the best. One of the best. But I feel like we're gonna get the Rhea, put the comeuppance on Charlotte here. I feel like that's what we're gonna see. But I like Charlotte Flair. I I just like Charlotte Flair where she was. So I wish they would just return her to where she is. Because, she's going to get 16 or more championship reigns. So I feel like that could be well utilized somewhere else, especially now that Becky, God bless, is doing her thing. So the man is becoming the mom. So I think there's room for Charlotte to kind of return to that scene. It makes more sense business-wise to Io here. But at the same time, if ultimately, in my heart of hearts, I feel like Charlotte's going to go back to Raw. So I feel like it makes more sense to put it on Rhea and let that division kind of go back to what it was doing pre-Charlotte Flair. That was a lot. I'm really sorry.
No, not at all. Queen, you're
dropping like a masterclass over there.
No, I was going to say, Queen, that's another soundbite right there because you're swaying me a lot on this. I like everything that you say. I might have to go Rhea as well, just because everything you say. I would love the result to be Io Shirai winning the belt. It makes a lot of sense, long overdue in my opinion. But I do agree with everything you said. I think Charlotte's going back to Raw. I think this triple threat, it doesn't hurt Charlotte to lose in this way. Charlotte doesn't necessarily need to get pinned. I would love to see Io Shirai. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but I got to go. And I love Rhea Ripley, not as much as Chris Nunez does, but I'll go with Rhea Ripley to be the new NXT Women's Champion, and maybe Io will be next in line. That would be great. Nunez, your thoughts?
To touch on what Queen brought up, I really didn't like that Charlotte won the title at WrestleMania against Rhea Ripley. I feel like Rhea needed that win more than she did. Charlotte is probably, besides Becky, the biggest, not even just women's wrestler that they have, just one of the biggest wrestlers in general. Just coming off the main event, the first ever female main event last year, which we were at. She didn't need to win the belt. Like you said, it stopped Rhea's momentum big time. And then also everything with COVID, and then her with the visa not being able to get over. But I think with Becky leaving, this does open a spot for Charlotte, and I do believe that Rhea's going to get the title back, and it's going to lead to a Rhea and Io Shirai feud. Charlotte doesn't need the belt. I agree that they kind of put the belt on her to pop NXT's ratings. But at this point, I think Rhea's going to win the belt back.
Wow. Very interesting. John, your thoughts, man?
Yeah, this, in my opinion, is going to be the match of the night. This is the match I've been looking forward to since they announced TakeOver in Your House. I think the dynamic between these three wrestlers is going to be off the charts, to be honest with you. Rhea and Charlotte had an excellent match at WrestleMania, regardless of your thoughts on what on WrestleMania itself. They had probably the best in-ring match of the two nights.
Totally.
And I've got to say, as much as I was against Rhea dropping the belt at Mania, I think Charlotte has brought some additional star presence and star power to the NXT Women's title and to the NXT TV show. That's just my opinion, and she's a big heel, and I think that they probably needed that. The women's division in NXT, as good as it is, has gone through a bit of a transitional phase, and it was red hot at the end of 2019 with Rhea picking up the belts, but the total change, I'm not totally against it, but I've got to say my pick for Sunday night is Io Shirai. I think it's long overdue that they've they need to put the belt on her.
I would love her to win the belt.
And Charlotte will be done with her NXT run. We can have a nice little feud over the next couple of takeovers. To see 2020 out with a nice feud between Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. I don't mind if they exchange the belts backwards and forwards. That'd be fine by me because they're both two young, exciting, fantastic wrestlers. But this is going to be the match of the night. I think this triple threat dynamic is going to work on Sunday night. So Put this match on last as far as I'm concerned. Make it the main event because it is going to deliver.
I love that. I love that. Very well. This is why you're here, man. Very well said. Bill, your thoughts, bro?
I think this match got a little bit of the fast forward button because of Becky Lynch's announcement and because we had to change things up a bit. Because I think, like Queen was saying and others have said, like Charlotte being in NXT would have, I would have loved to seen a Charlotte Tegan Knox feud for like a hot minute, a Charlotte, even putting her up against like a Dakota Kai or a Candice or someone like just having these feuds and then eventually culminating in what we're seeing right now with the SummerSlam takeover, which is always NXT's, like, outside of War Games, it's like NXT's big it's NXT's WrestleMania in a lot of ways, because that was their coming out party in Brooklyn. I think Io Shirai is taking this because I think ultimately it's going to take, because one, I'm just going to do wonky Zapruder film conspiracy theory stuff. It is no secret that Io Shirai and Kairi Sane's contracts are coming up very soon, so why not put a title on them to resign? Or at least Io Shirai, if I was Kairi Sane, I'd be like, please keep me away from Nia Jax, I'll go back to Japan. I'll wrestle on Lucha Underground in front of nobody instead of fighting her.
Hashtag watch Stardom.
Hashtag Stardom is amazing. So the thing is, I think Io Shirai is going to take it because, one, for that, and two, it's a fresh new person holding the title. And let's not mince words here. Io Shirai is one of the best women's wrestlers in WWE. She's amazing. She's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Period. Stop. That's the tweet. Yeah, and she's great. And I think then we move on to a Charlotte Rhea, who's going to face Io at the big next takeover. You know, like I said, the WrestleMania of takeovers before SummerSlam, and that's going to be, and I think it'll ultimately be Rhea. And we got a Rhea Io match there, and it's going to be big money. And Io's great. She's like effortless in the ring and how good she is. So to me, that's where you got to go with that. And then Charlotte could go elsewhere and be awesome. Hopefully to Raw, because they're kind of now lacking some talent, some star power, I should say. And with Io Shirai, I mean, she could have a great match with a paper bag. So I mean, like, guess what? You don't have paper bags in NXT. You have some of the best women in the entire world. So we're going to win on this one. She can have like great matches with women going forward, and then we get the Rhea match in August, and it will be awesome too. Because as Nunez said, Rhea's like momentum post winning that title, and then it was kind of, and then when she lost to Charlotte, it's just like she really got kneecapped there. So she needs to go with, like, let's have this be a feud for the ages. Like, NXT's women's title has been a legacy title of Asuka holding it for like a year plus, Shayna holding it for a year plus. It was super interesting when Kairi and Asuka were exchanging the titles and had that really intense feud. Let's see that again. Let's not see like this overly dominant champion, in my opinion. Let's see like this intense, emotional, physical feud that, we see some belt exchanges, and the ultimate winner of that goes on to be NXT Women's Champion. The loser of that, whomever it may be, goes on to Raw or SmackDown and brings the women's division of that brand to another level. Because Io and Rhea will elevate whomever they go to. If they lose that feud, Raw, SmackDown, they'll elevate that women's division like that. Immediate.
Interesting stuff, guys. All right, let's take it home. Let's talk about the NXT title match. Again, we're kind of talking about, like, I would put Dream in kind of that tweener kind of role. We've seen him face, we've seen him heel. Yeah. Very interesting feud here. I think Dream definitely deserves the title shot. He did have that very, very short match. I remember I was talking to Bill. I'm like, it's 9:52. Like, the match is starting. It's a very quick match between them. I think we'll get a great match here. I do agree with John, though. I'm going to say that the women's match going last, I love that idea. I think that would be great. I think it's a no-brainer here.
This is a backlot brawl.
Yes.
So this will be the cinematic match, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well, Bill. We're seeing a lot more of that. Very, very well said. And I'll throw it right back to you, Bill. I'm just going to say Cole's going to retain here, continue his streak as the longest reigning NXT champ, and Dream will not be able to challenge him going forward. Bill, your thoughts?
So Bill's answer is Adam Cole loses the title. Adam Cole's contract expires, and he goes to AEW and becomes the Ric Flair of pro wrestling that I said he would be the first time I ever saw him wrestle. Because I think he is a generational talent. And I don't know if that generational talent is going to translate to Raw or SmackDown. I really don't. I think he'll stay in WWE's system. However, I don't know if he's going to reach the heights that I personally expect he should be, which is the main event of WrestleMania. I think he should be headlining. I think he should be a champion. I think if you watch that one SmackDown where he fought Daniel Bryan, it more than proved that he is, despite his height, which some people are still hung up on, he is an amazing wrestler, and he could put a crowd in the palm of his hand and do whatever he wants with it. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I know, because I'm a dork, that if he went to AEW, he'd be the number one guy. And he would lead that brand. And everyone who loved him in NXT would march right over. Not that I want to see anything bad happen in NXT or WWE. I'm just saying, I think he would be huge business over there as opposed to another guy with a belt in NXT. But that's not going to happen because I'm sure he's going to resign. If he doesn't, I will totally be barking out like a 7-year-old boy, like I was when I first started watching wrestling. Anyway, this match has to be awesome. And the reason I say it has to be awesome is because since his return, Velveteen Dream, in my opinion, has been meh.
Yeah.
And maybe that's lack of a crowd. Maybe that's because they've also booked Velveteen Dream instead of being this edgy good guy. They've just booked him, frankly, as a douchebag. Let me airbrush Marina Shafir onto my crotch of my tights, and I'm the guy you're supposed to cheer. Let me tweet about Kathy Kelly to Finn Balor, but I'm the good guy. It's not how to me, it's like if he was the only guy who was in the gray area, that'd be fine. But he's not. There's way too many people in NXT like this right now. Velveteen Dream is an amazing talent that is not being used right, in my opinion. He needs to win this title. If he doesn't win this title, I honestly don't know where he goes. Do you? I mean, I think he has to win this title. And so I'm going to pick him because this is his type of match, because he can never challenge again if he loses. So I think Velveteen Dream's got to win here. And then WWE's got to realize, like, we have a seminal talent right here in Velveteen Dream who is super young, and we have to capitalize on him. And we got to make him. I mentioned Adam Cole as a Ric Flair. Velveteen Dream could be a Ric Flair. He could be the guy. And before his untimely injury, he was the guy. And he got it. And he was doing things that people in WWE weren't even doing. And he got himself over with his brain. Like, he came up with the ideas of, like, I'm going to troll Ricochet and do Prince Puma-esque tights. I'm going to put on Hollywood Hogan-type tights. And it had nothing to do with the matches he was doing. It was just like things. It was like, bring me up, Vince. Like, stuff like that was so creative. Call me up, Vince. Exactly. So creative. So original. And I don't think anything they've done with Dream since he's come back has been Dream original. It's been WWE telling Dream what to do. That's not how you get over with Dream. Dream is his own guy, and I'm referring to him almost in the third person like he's The Rock. Because in a lot of ways, this dude could be The Rock.
Wow.
He's that charismatic. He's that good. That Aleister Black match he had, where it was an opening match where his whole angle was, say my name. And he got, it was the match of the night. That dude can make them so much money. They're just not capitalizing on it right now. They are not capitalizing on his talent. He has to win this match. Could I see Adam Cole winning? Absolutely. But Velveteen Dream is the guy who deserves to win this match. Let's move Adam Cole somewhere else, AEW, and let's have Velveteen Dream be the guy in NXT. Let's give him his time in NXT because he's he's earned that time as the top guy in NXT.
Wow, some deep, in-depth thoughts there. Very high on the Dream right now. I'm going to throw it over to my good brother, the goodest brother, I should say, Chris Nunez, because we got an awesome picture with Adam Cole where we're all doing the UE, hand logo. I wish that we had, one more person, Nunez, so there was 4 of us, but it's going to be hard to top that picture, man. Your thoughts on this match, bro?
Well, all I know is once Adam Cole gets re-signed, it's going to be Adam Cole payday.
Oh, dude.
Good night.
He's going to make
good night.
I'm sorry. I had to do that.
Cole, baby.
So correct me if I'm wrong. If Velveteen Dream loses this, he can't challenge for the NXT title ever, or as long as Adam Cole is champion?
I think
as long as Adam Cole. Right.
Okay. Oh, man, this is a hard one, because like Bill was saying, Velveteen Dream is in a gray area, and Adam Cole's the cool heel. So the storyline going into this is kind of strange as well. I still think they're going to keep it on Adam Cole. It's I think mostly because with the contract and everything like that, it surprises me they haven't re-signed him yet. He's a free agent in 2 months. He's one of your biggest stars. I'm very surprised that they let this go that long. But I think Adam Cole's going to retain.
Wow, yeah, I'll agree with Adam Cole. Queen, we'll throw it to you.
I think Adam Cole, his smartest move would probably be to resign for now. I think AEW has a lot of things going on, and they have a very full roster, and they have a lot of stories that are being filled out right now. But I think eventually we see Adam Cole there. It's just not right yet. But I do agree, very much so, that this is a must-win for Dream. This is the time to go back to pre-injury Dream, where, as Bill said, he was the guy. He was the guy. I want that Dream back. And I want to see some really interesting stuff. I think eventually Undisputed, as much as we love Undisputed, is going to fall apart. Because I think Adam Cole can do big things elsewhere. I would love to see him as the Intercontinental Champion. I would love to see him in programs with Cesaro and with Shinsuke and with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And some of these dope, talents they're really filling out in SmackDown. And ultimately, I feel like that's where he could hang out for a while. I want to see the big things. I agree he should be main eventing. I love Adam Cole, and I was so excited when he showed up in NXT, and what a mark he has made in the short years that he has been. He's transformed NXT, especially the championship, and he's been the champion for over a year. He's done everything. The back-to-back matches with Johnny Gargano alone were the most unbelievable things. He's done so much as champion, but what's left for him now? You've done all the things. He's like Johnny in that way. But Johnny, I can see staying in NXT because he is NXT. He bleeds that stuff. Adam Cole, I feel like, is destined for bigger things. At least in my brain. If I was running WWE, he'd be main eventing WrestleMania. But that's neither here nor there because I'm not. So, I'm ultimately going to pick Dream because I feel like he has to win. And I hope this cinematic match is better than the Ciampa Gargano one.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm in the minority. I thought I was in the minority on
No,
that.
I didn't like that. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was there.
Wow. All right, John, hell of a debut so far. Take us home, bro.
Yeah, so you've got to think about the type of match. This is a backlot brawl. So when I think of backlot brawl, I think of Goldust versus Roddy Piper from whichever WrestleMania it was 20-odd years ago. That was a classic match. But
Long-ass time ago.
Oh, yeah, but we've seen a lot of cinematic matches, haven't we? But we've seen a lot of cinematic matches. Now, I'm kind of thinking about how this match might play out. I can definitely see other members of Undisputed Era getting involved. I can definitely see them recreating the scene when they put Velveteen Dream on the shelf, but the other way around, and possibly Velveteen Dream dropping Adam Cole off of some high platform or off the top of a truck. I could also possibly see Dexter Lumis getting involved, because he's been intertwined in all of this as well, hasn't he? So I think Dexter Lumis might be there, possibly to side with Velveteen Dream and to help him get the win eventually, to fight off, to combat the other members of UE. This is going to be a fun match. It potentially runs the risk of being overly booked, which a lot of these cinematic matches do tend to be anyway. I think it'll be fun. I do think Velveteen Dream will come out as the winner, the new NXT champion.
Wow.
I really, really hope that this is kind of, one door closes, another door opens for Adam Cole, and he gets an opportunity, as the Queen said, to possibly go on to Raw or SmackDown to have all these wonderful dream matches, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, you name it. But that's how I see the match playing out. I think it's going to be fun. I think, give the Velveteen Dream a run with the title. It's going to be a fun match. There's going to be lots of shenanigans and lots of booking decisions in there that people are going to be questioning Monday morning. But Velveteen Dream for me.
Think of a Keith Lee Velveteen Dream feud.
Yeah, or carrying Cross versus Velveteen Dream.
I'm in. Let's go.
Done.
Yeah, let's do it.
Those entrances, oh boy.
Yeah, oh man. You guys, this is really good stuff. You guys are kind of swaying me a little bit. And I'm almost kind of getting the feeling as we talk about these matches, we're turning the page a little bit with NXT. Riddle just went to SmackDown, and I'm sorry, I'm making you guys miss SmackDown a little bit right now. But, say Cole gets...
I'll watch it.
Yeah, there you go. Say Cole gets called up or, moved. They don't like using the term called up anymore, to SmackDown or Raw. I see a lot of guys in flux right now moving, and it's a very strange time. It'll be interesting to see what NXT looks like after this pay-per-view. I have heard that the production for this pay-per-view is going to be phenomenal. It's supposed to have like an old school feel. I'm interested to see what they do with the audience here. We've said on previous podcasts, I think AEW has knocked it out of the park in terms of having that outdoor, no walls audience kind of feel, and NXT
has done. I have to say NXT's done the best job of WWE's wrestler crowds, because there's one thing that's driven me nuts is that you see the heels of NXT cheering like they're 6-year-old fans for the fans, and you're just like, Jessamine Duke, what are you doing? Maria Shafir, what are you doing cheering for a face? You're a bad guy. You cheer for the bad guys. That's what you do. You boo the good guys. It's simple logic. And you know where they do it? They do it in NXT. They don't do it on Raw. They do it in NXT.
Yeah, it's
because NXT cares about, for the most part, consistency, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's confusing right now.
Raw
but
puts The Rock's daughter on first. It's like, we have a crowd. Here's The Rock's daughter. Okay, cool. You can tweet about it. Thanks.
Yeah. It's a confusing time right now. We make do with what we have. And, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to come on for this stellar panel. We're excited to watch the pay-per-view. It's time to put ourselves over. We're going to throw it to John first. John has a phenomenal podcast, Wrestling with Johners, that I've had the privilege of being on. It is a way more educated podcast than mine is. He's a very smart gentleman. You guys look at everything in depth. John, tell us a little bit about your show and where everyone can follow you.
Yeah, we tend to drop episodes every Saturday where we cover weekly NXT and AEW Dynamite. But I've been focusing more on the interviews. I interview in partnership with Turnbuckle TV, which is an on-demand service over here in the UK that focus on a lot of UK indie wrestling. So I actually work alongside them, do interviews with them. So when I'm not dropping my NXT and AEW stuff over the weekends, I'm normally doing an interview or two midweek. You can catch all my stuff. Just go to the website, wrestlingwithjohners.com. You've got links there to all of my social media. You've got a full archive of all of my podcasts and interviews and various other things that's going on there. But if you want to follow me on Twitter @withjohners_pod. That's @withjohners_pod. And Rob and the guys, thank you very much for having me on. It's been a blast.
We're not worthy, man.
Who's the next breakout?
Yeah, we are not worthy.
Who's the next breakout UK indie guy or gal?
Well, I've got to say, I interviewed 16-year-old Chantel Jordan. I don't know if you've heard of Chantel Jordan. She is kick-ass. She had a street fight with Joey Janela when she was only 15 that went viral, where they did. She got pole driven off of a car. They fought onto a public bus, into shops and restaurants, and then back into the ring eventually. But Chantel Jordan, watch out for her. In about 2 or 3 years' time, she will be the biggest star in the UK.
I'm checking that out, man. You sold me on that, man. Look at John doing what a professional here, putting people over still. I love it. Queen, tell everyone where we can follow you on social media and all your amazing shows that you're involved with.
Well, firstly, I just would like to say thank you for having me back. It's been a pleasure speaking with all of you. But in lieu of putting myself over, I would like to say something else. This is Pride Month, and I am running a giveaway, which started today and will end on Sunday, for a brand new Nightmare Family Pride shirt from Cody Rhodes. I have bought kind of to celebrate and to kind of give back a unisex tank top version, because #AllOutChallenge, getting those gains, and I have one to give away. So if you follow me on Twitter, go to my pinned tweet, and you don't even have to follow me. The only thing is I just want you to retweet it. It goes, of course, all proceeds to the Trevor Project, which is the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ plus youth. So very, very important. And in this time of chaos and sadness, I just want everyone to continue to be kind to one another, and come hang out and spread some positivity.
Love it, Queen. Always doing great work for great causes. We love you. Fantastic job. Always a pleasure. Mr. Bill Bodkin, let's get some shameless promo for our website, thepopbreak.com.
Honestly, we've been a little quiet the past week or so on thepopbreak.com, given the current situation in the United States. If you want to check us out, we're at thepopbreak.com. We're going to start posting again real soon. I am also the host of the Socially Distanced podcast, which you can find out on Anchor, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. Check us out at popbreak.com, all spelled out on Twitter, /popbreak.com, all spelled out on Facebook. And a lot of stuff you're going to see right there right now is links to organizations to donate for charity for Black Lives Matter. It's something that as a site where we've had Black writers, and me personally have friends who are Black and have people of color who've experienced a lot of really negative things during this time period, during COVID, and right now, and their whole lives. We need to do a lot better in the world. We need to do a lot better than when the hashtags calm down. We can all enjoy entertainment. We can all enjoy podcasts and movie reviews and music and TV and wrestling stuff. But at the same time, the sustained action to change the world is going to take a long time, and we have to all be dedicated towards that. And for me, I mentioned all my stuff. If you want to check that out, cool. But I'd rather you check out really great charities and really great organizations and really great messages that are going around on social media right now as opposed to my site.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys using the platform again to say a few words. That's great. I think if we learned anything this year, it's time for everyone to step up. It's time for everyone to communicate. It's time for everyone to have a conversation. It's time for everyone to be positive and take care of each other. We've been saying that for months and months and months here. I hope we finally get it. Nunez, anything to say before we get out of here?
Just be kind, spread positivity, spread love. And in order for all lives to matter, black lives have to matter first.
Exactly.
Love it, guys. Guys, I appreciate a few minutes. Everyone enjoy the pay-per-view tomorrow. Everyone stay positive. Take care of each other. Be kind. One love. And let's all watch wrestling together. We're out. Peace, guys. Thank you.